Hi again. Okay, what we'd like to do now is do sort of like a footage review type thing where when we were at this shoot with this family, that we sort of dedicated this family to this online class. So it was for the sole purpose of teaching you guys video. We wanted to show you how it looks when you're taking video and how to interact with them maybe a little bit better than just us talking at the screen like we had been. So as you watch this footage, I'm going to comment. Hopefully it's not too boring, but I will point out some things that I think are helpful from the shoot. And there's going to be voices from the shoot. Sometimes, some of the volume I left in because I thought it might be helpful. But here we go. So, some of this is Tyler's footage of me taking the picture or picture or video. And this is my footage here. So at the beginning of the shoot, we do a white balance, and so you'll see a difference of white balance between Tyler's footage and mine. Also, I'm just going to pause right here and tell you how horrifying it was. We mentioned that there was a storm before, and as we got there and the family got there, I got out of the car and I changed a lens, and during that amount of time, a fuzz got on my sensor, and you can see it. And I am so irritated. See it right here? Ugh, so annoyed. So it didn't ruin the final project. You can get it out. If you look over here, it says CHV Repair FX, and that's something you can buy online. It's not very expensive, but it can get rid of dead pixels in your camera, and it can also get rid of like dirt or whatever. I think the dead pixel works better than the dirt remover that same CHV Repair FX company sells. So you can, it's really straightforward, but you can get rid of stuff like that later. However, you don't want to. You want to have a clean sensor from the beginning. Do not follow my lead. Because I had checked my sensor inside my house before leaving, and then I went ahead and switched lenses outside in a torrential rain and windstorm, which is just dumb. So you'll see some black fuzz on this footage. Just try to ignore that. But while we're on the topic, if you want to take a video session and you don't know how to know if your sensor is dirty or clean, then what we do is we put on our lens, we go to about f16 aperture, point it at the bright sky, take a picture, and you'll be able to clearly see what dust and debris is going to be problematic. Because a lot of times your video is being shot at very narrow apertures because it's bright outside. And so that dust is going to show up, and you are going to be like me, totally bummed. After you've gotten all the footage and all the work prepared, you don't want to have a black blob. I've had to do it one other time. I had to use Dead Pixel by CHV Repair to get out a dot, and it was a huge pain. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so when you see me shooting, you'll often notice that my camera strap is stretched out far from my body.
Everybody look at Kaya.
And that's for stability. We mentioned that before. So that's a good tip to learn. Here at this part of the video, I'm taking photo. I know a lot of you will not have two cameras on your shoot. But I like to have two. I don't always have two. One is for photo, one's for video. And I just usually switch back and forth, which minimizes the lens changing.
Kaya, when I say 1, 2, 3, you're going to lead your family all the way up to me, okay? Bring them. 1, 2, 3.
So here you can see me doing something really common that Tyler and I do throughout shoots is we like to address people by name, really be clear who we're talking to and what they're about to do, speaking in a very excited voice, really encouraging. Just make sure everyone knows what they're doing. We also give them a 1, 2, 3 start point or some keyword that they're going to know. Now is the time to start.
So good. High five.
After they do it, you're going to want to be sure to follow up with a ton of praise. Keep those kids engaged. Keep them totally listening. They love that praise at the end. Oh my gosh, I did it right. She's happy. I want to do it again. Sometimes what happens is the siblings are like, no, it's my turn to do it. You got to give everyone a turn. It's hilarious. And I don't know how well you can see here, but these parents' faces are happy and everyone's very happy that this is a positive experience so far. So that's my footage.
You know how to run each other? Show me. That is
When I shoot, I really, really talk so much. I'm talking to those kids. Do you know how to hug each other? Do you know how to hold hands? You do? Wow, that's incredible. Look at you. You're doing it.
know how to kiss each other's cheeks.
Totally tricky. And this was the angle that I had just then. We would consider this to be bird's eye view. It looks great in a family video. It shows how little those kids are. It shows how innocent they are at that angle. We use it a lot. And remember, any 20-second long clip you take can be broken into 3, 4, 5 adorable smaller clips.
Ready? Hold on.
Let's do it.
Good job, Monroe. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Okay, so in any movement-based clips you are instructing on, just be sure to keep that camera pretty stable. Your voice has the energy. Your hands are really stretching out your strap. And you're keeping steady. Success.
No, it's not a mess. Okay, pick something out of the ground.
So like we said earlier, it's great to have a list of shots that you are going to cover in your shoot. But a lot of times you'll see something that's not on your list and you're going to go for it and it's going to be better than anything on your list. Don't be afraid of spontaneous ideas. They can fill up a lot of really adorable time. And a lot of times they're detail oriented too. It's those detail shots that help make the mood. It's really important to just go with the flow while keeping yourself in control of the shoot and saying, okay, like, I know I got this shot, I know I got this shot, I know I have enough material. That'll help you be calm.
And then the kids are going to sit by you, not they're watching from afar. Come here, guys, you're going to walk together with Mom and Dad without the blanket and then snuggle.
Okay, so it's really important to give clear instructions to every single person in the family. They'll have questions, you can clarify, but you're going to really just paint a good picture of what's about to happen.
You guys know how to do
I'm
that?
gonna face you when I put the blanket out.
Yeah, that'd be great. Doesn't matter too much, just make it natural. We're on a picnic. There you go. Ready, set, go!
The idea is that you have given them enough instruction beforehand that they don't have to look at you for cues while they're walking or doing whatever it is you wanted them to do. And then if you'll just pay attention to my body here as it moves, it'll kind of give you a good idea as to how to move and film and not be too jumpy.
Go!
With holes in the ground and gopher holes, snake holes everywhere. It's not easy, but remember you're just looking for that homey, not shaky, not too jiggly, homemade feel. The reason why I like that movement instead of a steady cam or something so stationary is that it also furthers that whole homemade feel. It makes it feel like someone was there with you, part of the group. I like that. Families like that. Alright, let's skip ahead here. So here the dad is doing what I told him to do. Then they sit down. Alright.
How much you like cookies?
Okay, in this clip, I want you to try and listen, but I'm just asking them a bunch of questions to keep their mind off the fact that they're being videographed, if you will. And more questions you can ask, the more conversation you can involve with the family, the better, because they'll just cuddle up and talk about things.
You guys talk about how much you like cookies. Tell me who in the family is the most ticklish. Who's that?
Caius.
Good.
Mommy doesn't
Let me see.
let us take
Let me see a tickle the most ticklish person in your family. Ready? Go. Caius, that's totally you. Ha.
Yeah? Come here, Russ.
What's your favorite kind of cookie?
What's your favorite kind of cookie?
Okay, so here you can see my angle, and here you can see the result of that angle. And a twist pan. We'll go back one more time. You can see the twist pan larger. Slow, steady,
Oh man, you are.
but not so boring that it's so steady.
Go back to your spot, Caius. I'm gonna take a photo now, which means you guys have to smile at me.
Yes.
That's a good smile. Oh, Monroe is a good smile still. Snuggle up super close. I'm gonna back up.
Okay, a word about why Tyler and I say snuggle and cuddle so many times during the session. We found that we kept saying like, okay, stand close together, everyone. And people would stand sort of close to each other. And then we say, no, no, closer, closer. They'd scoot in, but still not have that like tight, really nice feeling of togetherness. So we started yelling out, cuddle together, snuggle together. That means something they understand. Oh, you want me to snuggle? You want me to hug?
If you
You
like
bet.
watching movies. Who in your family likes to eat ice cream? Smile if you like ice cream. Smile.
Okay, so I said, smile if you like ice cream. Ask them a question. Give them something to do if that question applies. That is one of the better things to do when a family is sitting or standing together. Get them something to think and act upon.
Smile, Monroe. Oh, that's good.
There's the photo that resulted there. Okay.
Other game. See my camera? It's gonna come by everyone's face. And when it comes by, I want to see a smile. Good. Then I'm gonna come by one more time. And you can make a funny. Do you know how to make funny faces? You do. That's really good.
First time.
Okay, so a note about panning. What I just said is I'm going to come by and I want you to make a smiley face. Then I'm going to come by again. You can make a funny face. With panning, before you begin, to get the steadiest, possible foundation, you want to make sure you can hold your pan through the whole thing. So, like, make sure if you're standing up, are your arms steady? Are you going to be able to hold that up from one side to the other? So many times I have to do a pan again because I didn't start right. I have to make sure my legs are in the right position to follow through.
Time we're smiling.
Okay.
First time we're smiling.
No hands in your mouth.
Hands down.
This is the book. Okay, are you ready?
Okay, smile first.
Smiling big. Show your teeth.
So here's how I pan.
What's that?
My strap is pulled
Now I
way
have a
out.
Funny face coming. Ready? That is good. You guys are good at that. Okay.
And here's the result. Not too fast, not too slow. You don't want this clip to take up too much time. It has a certain look, and we don't want all the clips to have this close-up sort of funny look. Okay, so
Okay,
there's
one more
that.
snuggle. Oh, really, 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 really
You gotta show your face.
Yeah, we want to see all your smiles.
Okay, look, turn your
Good.
face.
Nice hug. Awesome. I love Poopy diapers.
That kid was such a crack up. So there you go. I got the photo and I took the video all at the same time. So now we're going through me walking the family from one location to another. And as we walk, we're talking about the kids and what they like to do, blah, 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 blah. I saw an opportunity to get the parents holding hands plus the baby belly. So I went for it, and this is what I got. Whoops. There you go. A nice sun-drenched shot. Okay. And then I set up another walking shot that's made it into the video as the family headed to the location I liked out there. So this is what that looked like. You're just going to pace yourself behind them, pulling out on your camera strap so that it's steady as possible, even if there are huge snake holes everywhere. And then a note there about focus. You're just going to use that frontal ring and focus as best as you can as you walk. It is a lot to do at once, but with practice it becomes so easy, just like taking pictures.
Let me see if everyone can get a good snuggle on them.
Okay, so the next little bit is me asking more questions about the family. Who likes this? Who likes this? Right here, I wanted them to look a bit closer, a little more snuggly, so I just went up and I did it. I'm not the best describer. I'm more of a shower. So I like to get up and personal and help people be where they want to be, or where I want them to be. Here I'm directing attention to one person in the family so that they won't look at me. They're such a cute family. Right there I said, look at someone whose name starts with J, which is the dad. And so they're not going to look at me. I want them to look at him. Make everything a game if you can. Okay, and then we'll just skip forward here. Here's my footage of the last couple frame or clips. I get it at several different angles if I have the time.
And we are going to do a walk to that place. And I think it would look cute if Daddy was the leader. Then Daddy brings Mommy. Mommy brings Kai. Kai is
Okay, so again, I'm really setting up what's going to happen right from what we're doing down to who stands where. Trying to have that animated voice, trying to be explicit, trying to really let everyone know what they're going to be doing.
Do it? We can do it. So I'm going to have you all grab hands in sort of a chain. If you do a good job at this, then when we get to the fence, I might let you sit on it. Wouldn't that be cool? You can climb on that fence. Okay, let's see if you can do a good job there. So who's the biggest? Is Roro the biggest? I am. Alright, what should be the magic word that means go? Me. Diapers? No. Poop? No. No. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Diapers means go. Ready, go.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I established a word that meant go, and then I ended up saying go anyway. So what we do a lot of times is we choose a word that means go just to mix it up, just to keep them listening for that word and active in the participating. Okay. So this shot turned out really nice and pretty. Definitely made it into the final video.
All right.
I really liked how that turned out. It's more of a mood shot where it shows like, yes, we're close, we're on this journey together, and it's beautiful. All right.
Who likes bunny rabbit? Smile. Good. Roro, put your hands
I
down.
think you can hear, but I said, who likes bunny rabbits? Smile if you do. Just keeping them engaged.
Good. Now,
Here's my footage. Okay, now, because I don't want to ramble on and on and on and on. Oh, really quick. Here is me taking the photo, and that's the photo that resulted. So,
snuggle. You have to pretend to snuggle, but when I say the word underpants, you're gonna run. Don't tell them.
all right, so I'm going to just skip ahead a little bit here. This was me telling them that underpants was the word that meant go. Go when you hear underpants. And so here they came, they ran. Good. Okay. Next, we are going to go to the fence where I'll instruct them more things to do. I just needed, at this point of the shoot, you guys, I felt a little bit panicked. You can see how low the sun was. And that did not make me happy because I didn't necessarily feel like I had enough. It turns out I had more than enough. But I just wanted to grab a couple more detail shots, a couple more mood shots.
Go, get on the fence.
Marilyn Monroe style.
That is where you get your name.
Yes, and after I had done this part, I felt, okay, like I gotta have enough stuff now. I've gone through my notes on my phone, which I only looked at twice. I've gotten extra things. I have to be okay. And I have gotten photos. Okay, gonna go ahead. Up here, I was setting up one of those shots Tyler and I were talking about earlier, where you film one person, then that person disappears, another person shows up in the scene, and so on and so on. And so that didn't really make it into the final video, but it would look like, okay, so here's Monroe, here's Monroe, then there's Caius, then there's both of them, then there's Daddy, then there's Mommy, and we're all a happy family.
He's a superhero and he has X-ray vision, so he sees everything.
At this point, I was asking them just to talk about their favorite bedtime story, and that keeps them engaged with each other, not looking at me when I don't want them to look at me. Allows me to get more photo, more video. And then here was my last ditch, sun has gone down effort to get a few more detail shots of the kids. So I got that. I got some of Caius's shoes. And then it,
Way out.
oh, I like this part.
Does that sting? No?
All
Okay.
right, are you ready, Roro?
And then this is the final shot of the evening, I think, which ended up being the very first shot of the video. That doesn't happen too often. Oh, actually, this
That was good twirling, though.
is the last shot of the day.
Like this.
And here's how it turned out.
Like that.
Okay, so that's what the shoot went like. You can see the kids were really good kids. They wanted to listen, they loved praise, and that always makes it easier. In the case that you don't have kids that want to listen, you really have to up your game, be super involved in game playing, super involved in having them have a job. Each kid gets a job. Each kid gets to lead somewhere, lead the whole family somewhere. Difficult kids can do a good job at video sessions too. It happens all the time. Just remember the tricks of the trade. Have that list on hand so that when you do get flustered and you're lost and you have no idea what footage you've gotten, you can jump the hurdle by looking at your cheat sheet.